When defining your communication goal, you want to determine your purpose, create useful, persuasive communication, create reader's profile, identify relevant elements of the context, and choose ethical treatment of the stakeholders. Before starting your communication, you need to ask yourself 3 questions. What are you writing? What do you want to achieve with your communication? And who will be reading your communication? You want your communication to be useful, so you need to find out the task or the goal of all the readers who you will be addressing. Your communication must use verbs that describe practical actions such as choose, decide, and solve. Do not use verbs that concern mental states such as learn, know, or understand. Who will your readers be? What role do they play? Are they the decision makers? Are they the advisor or the implementer? Think of typical questions they might ask and what kind of problems are likely to arise and what would you do to help solve. Help your reader look for the information. Are they reading instructions? Are they reading for key points only, or is it reference reading? And then how is your reader using the information? Are they performing a procedure or are they choosing something? If you want your communication to be persuasive, you must first know your readers' attitudes before going in. Then you must determine how you want to change their attitude after reading your communication. After reading your communication, find out why your readers have their opinions. Through life experience, we know that all people respond differently to communication, and it could be to the same situation or event. In order to create a reader's profile, you must be able to describe their professional role and characteristics. Do they have any characteristics that can influence their response? For example, do they have high or low level reading skills? What is their cultural background? Cultural background must be considered when it is different from yours, and you have to change the strategies in which you write. You must also learn who all of your readers will be. Will you have phantom readers who are real but unnamed? Will there be future readers, those that will be reading your communications in future weeks, months, or even years after you've written it? When relaying your communication, you should be able to identify relevant elements with the context of your communication. Are there any recent events related to your topic? Are there any interpersonal, interdepartmental, or interorganizational relationships? Does your employer or the people you are writing for have any constraints to what you can and cannot say? In order to provide an ethical communication, you must identify your stakeholders. Who will be affected directly, indirectly, or even remotely affected? Can you determine how your communication will impact your stakeholders? Everyone throughout your communication should be treated fairly and with respect. So how do you develop an effective professional voice? Creating a professional voice in your writing will gain your readers' trust. You also should construct memorable, interesting, and easy-to-read sentences. Word choice is also important because you should be able to clearly portray your ideas to a specific audience. When creating an effective professional voice, consider what your readers will be expecting from your writing. What are their expectations regarding formality, objectiveness, and tone of voice? Is this an informal or formal communication? Think of the type of voice you will use in your communications. Your readers in a type of communication will determine what type of voice you should use. Are you writing a professional communication with a stern tone to display power, or do you need to be more personal? How will the tone of your voice affect your readers, and how will it be interpreted? When writing a communication, you must always use your own work. Using your own words will make your writing more unique than if you were to use someone else's. The most important thing is to sound authentic. This enables your readers to trust you more. Just as you are to consider the cultural backgrounds of your audience, you must also consider that with your voice as well. Avoid stereotypes and assumptions so as not to offend anyone. As I'm sure most people have, we have all read something extremely boring and uninteresting and just don't want to continue reading. It is important to focus on your word choice. Do not use long or complex words if you think there's a chance that your audience will not understand them. Your message should be clear, concise, and concrete. When a reader first sees the page in which they are to read, they see the visual elements of that page. All of this happens before they read and understand the message. Good designs can enhance the usefulness of your communication. It will help your readers understand your information, locate it, and also notice highly important content. Imagine pulling up a document that is just plain boring to look at. How would that make you feel? Good designs encourage readers to feel good about the communication itself as well as the subject matter. When you're designing your page, approach it as you would the text and graphics of that page. This will draw your readers in. In order to help your readers understand your communication, it is important that they understand the content and layout of your page. In order to do that, create a grid for the framework of your page. Decide on your page where it's most useful to place the visual elements. A grid allows you to create many different functional and persuasive designs. Help your readers along by aligning related elements with one another. This will help your readers stay organized for reading your communication. Any related items should be grouped together so that your readers can see it. Your readers will judge the relationship between those items based on how much space is between them. Use contrast to establish the importance and focus of the different items on your page, as some things you'll want to stand out more than others. To create more contrast, use different sizes, fonts, and colors, as well as type treatment. When you have a long communication, think about designing single pages as well as a set of pages. You can create an aesthetically pleasing set of pages by using repetition. Use the same grid pattern throughout the same type treatment for all major headings, second level headings, and so on. The repetition on those pages enables your readers to immediately understand the organization of your communication. As we all know from Microsoft Word and other programs, there are many different fonts. In order for your readers to really understand your communication and to make it easy to read, you want to select an easy font. It should be strong and distinctive. Finally, when choosing physical characteristics that support the goal of your communication, think about the overall product that you will provide to your readers.